Why successful people wake up early? Have you ever noticed how some people seem to get more done before 9 a.m. than most people accomplish in an entire day? It's easy to look at successful people and assume they were born different. Maybe they have more talent, more intelligence, more opportunities, more luck. But when you study the habits of highly successful individuals, a pattern begins to emerge. Many of them wake up early. Not because waking up at 5 a.m. magically makes someone successful, not because there is something special about the number on the clock, but because waking up early changes something much deeper. It changes who you become. Imagine two people. The first person wakes up late every morning. The alarm rings, they hit snooze, then again and again. Eventually, they jump out of bed already feeling behind. They rush through their morning, their mind is scattered. Their day begins with stress. Now imagine the second person. They wake up before the world does. No notifications, no demands, no interruptions. Just silence. Just possibility. Just time. They sit with their thoughts. They plan their day. They exercise. They read. They work on their goals. By the time most people are waking up, they've already invested in themselves. Day after day, week after week, year after year. The difference seems small, but small choices repeated consistently create extraordinary outcomes. This is one of the most powerful lessons in self-improvement. Success rarely comes from one massive decision. It comes from tiny actions performed consistently over long periods of time. And waking up early is often one of those actions. But before we talk about why successful people wake up early, let's talk about something even more important. Why most people don't. The truth is that many people are trapped in a cycle. They stay up late, they wake up tired, they rush through their day, they feel overwhelmed. Then they escape into entertainment at night, scrolling, watching videos, browsing social media, telling themselves they deserve a break. And they do deserve rest. But somewhere along the way, rest becomes avoidance, and avoidance becomes a habit. Then years pass. Dreams remain dreams. Goals remain goals. Potential remains potential. One of the greatest tragedies in life is not failure. It's unrealized potential. It's reaching the end of your journey and wondering what might have happened if you had committed just a little more, if you had believed in yourself just a little longer, if you had started just a little earlier. Psychologists often talk about the power of identity. Most people focus on outcomes. They want to lose weight, make money, build a business, get promoted, become confident. But successful people focus on identity. Instead of asking, how do I become successful? They ask, what would a successful person do? And then they do that consistently. Waking up early becomes more than a habit. It becomes evidence. Evidence that they are serious. Evidence that they keep promises to themselves. Evidence that they are building discipline. And discipline is one of the greatest predictors of success. Consider this. Motivation is temporary. Everyone feels motivated sometimes. Discipline is what remains when motivation disappears. Anyone can wake up early once. Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can be focused for a week. The challenge is consistency. The challenge is continuing when nobody is watching. Continuing when results are invisible. Continuing when progress feels slow. That is where transformation happens. There is a story about a stonecutter. Every day he strikes a massive rock with his hammer. 1 strike, 2 strikes, 10 strikes. 100 strikes. Nothing happens. The rock looks exactly the same. Then, on the 101st strike, the rock suddenly cracks in half. People watching might think the final strike caused the breakthrough, but it wasn't the final strike. It was every strike that came before it. Success works the same way. Every early morning matters. Every workout matters. Every page you read matters. Every promise you keep matters. The breakthrough is usually invisible until suddenly it becomes visible. Most people quit too early because they cannot see progress. Successful people continue because they trust the process. This is why mornings are so powerful. The morning is often when your willpower is strongest. Research in psychology suggests that decision fatigue accumulates throughout the day. Every choice consumes mental energy. By evening, many people are exhausted. That's why goals get postponed, workouts get skipped, books remain unread, plans get delayed. But early in the morning, your mind is fresh, your focus is stronger, your energy is higher. You have an opportunity to direct your best attention toward what truly matters. Think about that. The most valuable asset you possess is not money. It is not talent. It is not connections. It is attention. Whatever receives your attention grows. If social media gets your attention, social media grows. If distractions get your attention, distractions grow. If your goals get your attention, your future grows. Successful people understand this principle. They guard their mornings because they guard their attention. And by guarding their attention, they protect their future. One CEO described mornings as the steering wheel of the day. If you grab the wheel early, you choose the direction. If you don't, circumstances choose for you. Emails choose for you. Notifications choose for you. Other people's priorities choose for you. Every morning, you have a choice. Will you live intentionally, or will you live reactively? Will you design your day, or will you allow your day to design you? The answer to that question can shape your entire future, because days become weeks, weeks become months, months become years, and years become a life. The quality of your life is ultimately the quality of your daily habits. And the quality of your habits often begins with how you start your mornings. Tomorrow morning, before the world wakes up, there will be an opportunity waiting for you. An opportunity to become a little stronger, a little wiser, a little more disciplined, a little closer to the person you want to become. The question is not whether that opportunity will appear. The question is whether you will be awake to meet it. The hidden advantage of early risers. There is something powerful about being awake while the rest of the world is still asleep. The streets are quiet. The notifications are silent. The demands of life have not yet arrived. For a brief moment, the world belongs to you. And that quiet moment can become the foundation of an extraordinary life. Most people underestimate the power of environment. They think success is purely about motivation. But psychology teaches us something different. Human behavior is heavily influenced by surroundings. If you place yourself in an environment filled with distractions, your focus suffers. If you place yourself in an environment designed for growth, your focus improves. The early morning creates one of the most powerful environments for personal development. Not because the morning itself is magical, but because it removes many of the obstacles that normally stand in your way. Think about the last time you wanted to focus on an important goal. Maybe you wanted to study. Maybe you wanted to exercise. Maybe you wanted to work on a business idea. What happened? A text message arrived. An email appeared. Someone needed your attention. A notification interrupted your concentration. One distraction became another. And before you knew it, the day was gone. This happens to millions of people every day. Not because they are lazy, not because they lack ambition, but because they underestimate how difficult it is to focus in a distracted world. Successful people understand this. Instead of fighting distractions all day long, they create a period of time where distractions are naturally minimized. That period is often the early morning. Imagine planting a seed. The seed is fragile. It needs protection before it becomes strong. Your goals are the same way. When a dream is new, it is vulnerable. It can easily be destroyed by distractions, excuses, and self-doubt. The morning protects your dreams long enough for them to grow. One of the most important lessons from self-improvement literature is that confidence is not built before action. Confidence is built through action. Many people wait to feel confident before they begin, but successful people begin before they feel ready. Every morning, they prove something to themselves. They prove they can do difficult things. They prove they can keep promises. They prove they can take action despite discomfort. And over time, these small victories create confidence. Real confidence. Not the confidence that comes from motivational quotes. Not the confidence that comes from external validation. But the confidence that comes from evidence. Evidence that you can trust yourself. Think about that for a moment. How many promises have you made to yourself? How many goals have you postponed? How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? The problem isn't that you failed. The problem is that every broken promise slightly weakens your self-trust. And without self-trust, every goal becomes harder. Early rising helps rebuild that trust. Each morning becomes a vote for the person you want to become. One vote may seem insignificant, but identity is built one vote at a time. If you wake up early today, that's one vote for discipline. If you exercise tomorrow, that's another vote. If you read instead of scrolling, that's another vote. Eventually, the evidence becomes impossible to ignore. You stop hoping you are disciplined. You know you are. You stop hoping you are focused. You know you are. You stop hoping you can succeed. You know you can. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually, almost invisibly. And that is why so many people miss it. We live in a culture obsessed with immediate results. People want success now, money now, transformation now. But nature teaches a different lesson. A tree does not grow overnight. An athlete does not become elite overnight. A business does not become successful overnight. Everything meaningful requires time. The problem is that people often overestimate what they can achieve in a day and underestimate what they can achieve in 5 years. 5 years of waking up early. 5 years of learning. 5 years of improving. 5 years of discipline. The person you become would be almost unrecognizable. This brings us to a powerful story. A young man once asked an older mentor how to become successful. The mentor smiled and said, "Meet me at the beach tomorrow morning before sunrise." The next day, the young man arrived. The mentor walked into the water and motioned for him to follow. They went deeper and deeper until the water reached their shoulders. Suddenly, the mentor grabbed the young man and pushed his head underwater. The young man struggled. Seconds passed, then more seconds. Finally, just before panic took over, the mentor released him. The young man emerged, gasping for air. The mentor asked him a simple question. When you were underwater, what did you want more than anything? Air, the young man replied. The mentor nodded. When you want success as badly as you wanted air, you will find it. The lesson is profound. Most people like the idea of success. Few people truly commit to it. They want the rewards, but they avoid the sacrifices. They admire discipline, but they resist discomfort. Successful people understand that growth requires sacrifice. Waking up early is one of those sacrifices. You sacrifice comfort today to create opportunity tomorrow. You sacrifice convenience now to create freedom later. And that trade becomes one of the best investments you ever make. Another reason successful people wake up early is because mornings provide clarity. Modern life is noisy. Everyone has opinions. Everyone wants your attention. Everyone is competing for space in your mind. The result is mental clutter. And mental clutter creates confusion. When your mind is overwhelmed, even simple decisions become difficult. But in the quiet hours of the morning, clarity returns. You can think, reflect, plan, ask important questions. Where am I going? What matters most? What kind of person do I want to become? These questions often get buried beneath the noise of daily life, but they determine the direction of your future. Imagine driving a car across a country. Would you rather check your direction every day or wait until you're completely lost? Most people wait until they are lost. Successful people check their direction regularly. The morning becomes their daily course correction, a time to ensure they are moving toward their goals rather than away from them. And perhaps that is the greatest benefit of all. The morning reminds you that your life is still in your hands. No matter what happened yesterday, no matter how many mistakes you've made, no matter how far behind you feel, a new morning arrives. A fresh start, a new opportunity, a chance to begin again. And sometimes, that is all a person needs. Not a perfect plan, not perfect circumstances, not unlimited resources, just another chance to begin. Every sunrise carries that message. You can start again. You can improve. You can grow. You can become more than you are today. The question is whether you will answer that invitation. Because every morning is offering you a choice. Stay asleep and remain the same, or wake up and become someone new.